All right, so Cardano sentiment has reached a 4-month high, and people are very bullish as to what's to come with Cardano, but also we've seen major developments take place with President Trump, and this could impact Cardano, Solana, which just saw major regulatory approval, and other altcoins moving forward. So if we're looking at the overall market right now, things are looking pretty decent. Bitcoin right now is sitting just around that $85,000 per coin range, right at 84,400. Ethereum is just below 2,000, and it looks like it could break back above and hold that level as long as we're able to see that on the daily time frame. But if we're looking at in terms of technicals, we can see that there's a few things to be concerned about in the short term. Long term is a different case. If we're looking in the short term right now, Bitcoin needs to break above that $85,000 per coin level on the daily time frame. You could see we tested that level, that resistance right at 87,000, but then we were rejected right back down below it. So the key thing we're looking out for now over the next few days is Bitcoin's price going to be able to break through and hold that $87,000 per coin range. If it is, then it's very likely we're going to start rallying our way higher and start pushing our way higher. If it doesn't, then it is more likely that we're going to see Bitcoin's price start to trace down, trend down towards this $73,000 per coin level. So keep an eye out on the daily candles and the daily closes, because we've yet to be able to close above $87,000 per coin, and that is the key level we're looking at right now. And next up is I want to talk about a meme coin that is crossing over between the meme coin and AI sector. And with the market starting to look like it's bottomed out, especially for altcoins, I think this project, Frobo, could be one of the massive gainers in 2025. Frobo is currently in its pre-sale. Symbol is FROB, Frob. They've currently raised right around $15,000. They have a goal of raising around $1.3 million. And this is a project that is, it says, born from a late night, why not both moment. Frobo uses high smart and end tech with meme charm. So it's powered by advanced technology. It's your ultimate guide to navigating the market with precision and style. And ultimately, if you look at their white paper, there's 3 core things for Frobo. First is the token, that Frob token, a meme-powered crypto with real utility. The second is Frobo AI Agent. It's an autonomous AI-powered trading system that learns, adapts, and executes trades 24/7. It's an AI-driven trading assistant that does the hard work for you, so you don't have to. So think of it as your crypto sugar daddy, but without the commitment. And then the third thing is community. Community is everything. Frobo is built by people for the people, and this is something that has a lot of potential because it's crossing over, like I said, between the AI meme coin sector and also just meme coins in general. So it's combining artificial intelligence, AI agents, and meme coins, and it's breaking into this AI meme coin sector. So if you're looking at this project, currently it's available in its pre-sale with 130% staking rewards. If you look at staking right now, you can see that the total staked is right around 100,000 Frob tokens with an estimated reward of around 130% APY. In terms of tokenomics, everything looks really good as well. It's really a community-driven project. So this is a project that's definitely worth checking out, especially with the current state of the market. And in terms of Cardano, there's actually a lot of bullish sentiment because Cardano is on the verge of a 20% breakout as social sentiment indicator hits a 4-month high. So if we're looking at the social sentiment indicator, we can see that ADA investors have received a boost from the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission with recent comments, which classified Cardano's use case as smart contracts for government services. So the SEC statement was then followed by ADA's highest ratio of positive comments on social media since the first week of November 2024. This was right before we saw a massive rally in Cardano's price. So usually a rise in social sentiment, more people talking bullish about a project on social media leads to more people buying and higher, better price appreciation. So that's something to keep an eye out on because this is a pretty important thing to look at, is track what's going on in social media, how positive are the comments, and what exactly is going on. On top of this, if we're looking at the TVL for Cardano's blockchain, it's at a pretty important level. It's holding right now just around that $325 million TVL level. That has acted as a key support for Cardano since really back in 2022. You can see it reached that peak right around $320 million and March of 2022. It retested it back again right around January of 2024, and now it's retesting that level again. So all of these things are lining up to see a pretty bullish rest of the year for Cardano's price. Now, if we look towards Solana, for example, there's been a lot of exciting things there as well. The first Solana ETFs have been set to launch in the US, and actually they're officially live as we speak. So the first Solana ETFs in the US started trading on March 20th. And so while it doesn't necessarily matter exactly how much was put and how much volume these products saw, what's more important is that for every single time we have seen a Bitcoin ETF or a spot Ethereum ETF, it was always preceded by a futures ETF. So we saw a Bitcoin futures ETF approved first, then a spot Bitcoin ETF. Then we saw an Ethereum futures ETF. Then we saw a spot Ethereum ETF. So now that we're seeing futures products for Solana be approved and traded on publicly available exchanges, it's very, very likely that we're going to see a spot Solana ETF following, and that's going to bring a lot of institutional demand into Solana. Last two things I want to talk about is going to be what's going on with altcoins and the overall state of the market. So recently, the Federal Reserve came out and said, look, we're leaving interest rates unchanged at 4.25 to 4.5%. And this is important because Jerome Powell has said, yeah, tariffs could delay progress on lowering inflation, but ultimately for the remainder of 2025, they're still expected to have 2 rate cuts in this year. So this has caused a bit of excitement in the markets because Jerome Powell said a good part of the central bank's higher inflation expectation comes from tariffs. Ultimately, that over time we're going to continue to see that there has been inflation start to come down, and that's going to be very, very important for financial markets moving forward. It's going to make it cheaper to borrow money, and it's going to be really good for stocks and crypto. Last thing I do want to talk about is going to be Trump, because Trump came out and said at a conference, he said he called on Congress to pass crypto stablecoin legislation. So Trump spoke at a digital asset conference. He was the first president to ever do this, and he called on Congress to pass crypto stablecoin legislation, but he also says that together they're going to make America the undisputed Bitcoin superpower and crypto capital of the world. So both of these things are going to be long-term very bullish for Bitcoin, the overall market, because if he's saying this and he keeps reiterating it, it's going to lead to more money coming into the crypto space, not only from the US, but also other countries around the world that are not going to want to miss out on this opportunity that is going on with crypto, because if the US is saying, look, we're going to be investing in Bitcoin, we're going to become the crypto capital of the world, like other countries are going to want to get in now before we really see action take place with the US government. So these are things that you need to be keeping an eye on right now in the overall market. And so short term, it looks like there could be a little bit of volatility that might not be the best. We may see Bitcoin's price drop down to that $73,000 per coin level, but the good news is that if we can see a daily close above that 87K mark, then I think it's going to be much more positive in the short term. Long term, things are still looking good, but that's the short term outlook and a little bit of the long term outlook.